Good day, everyone. Today, I would like to talk to you about communication and illustrate its importance with some relatable everyday things that we go through it. So, what is communication? You just give a thought about it. What is communication? Whatever comes to your mind, try to make it into a sentence. What is communication? See, here now I'm communicating to you. I am communicating about the communication. So it is like I am sharing the information about the communication, about the chapter communication, about the subject paper communication to you people. So how do I do it? I do it through the visual part, the PPT, whichever has been done. And also I'm giving a message to it through the audio. So communication is a process of sharing anything. It could be anything. It could be some information or it could be an idea. Say I'm just talking with my friend saying that I'm going to set up a new business. What do you say? I have this idea. So there I'm sharing the idea of myself with my friend. Sometimes I say, I'm feeling irritated. Do not disturb me. I'm a bit frustrated. Do not disturb me. I'm sharing my feeling. So it could be anything. It could be some information. It could be an idea, or it could be a feeling, or it could be a thought, anything, whichever we share with another person through speaking, writing, or some body language. When somebody asks, do you like to have some coffee? And when we nod our head saying no without even speaking. So that is communicating through our body language. And there are other forms of expression as well. So these are all the things we do in our daily life, which is the process of communication, in which we share something that is within us that we would like them to know about that. So that is communication. So imagine you're using a GPS for direction. See, you are going to come to class for this session and you don't know this location. You are coming for the first time and you are using the GPS. So you put in your destination and you're using the GPS. You are guided and with the direction and you are coming into the spot. So that is a form of communication as well. And think of something like you are baking a cake. You are baking a cake with a recipe from the internet. You are just reading the instruction and you are making the cake and it comes out well without much confusion and without much misunderstanding. So that is too a form of communication. So there are so many other forms, like we order food in Swiggy, Zomato. So that is also a form of communication. We are wanting something, we are taking an order, we are placing an order to the restaurant, which is a form of communication to the restaurant saying that I'm hungry and for my hunger to be satisfied, I want this sort of food. So we are sharing, we are asking the restaurant to give us that. So that is also a form of communication. So there are so many other things that could come to your mind. So jot down something, write down something, whichever feels like this is also a form of communication. See, sometimes we feel like you are in a class. See, for example, a 10th standard student. She has scored full marks in a subject. How would the teacher feel? She may feel good. So feeling good, she may present the student with a small gift. That is also a communication. So she is appreciating. The sharing of the feeling appreciation through a gift to the student is also a form of communication. So now I feel you have an idea about communication. What is communication is all about. Now you may get so many other ideas of communication. And now we have to move into the effective communication. There can be communication, but the communication has to be effective. the person whomsoever I'm sharing with. For example, I'm taking the Swiggy app, I'm placing the order, but it is not being placed. Will it be an effective communication? No. At any point, the order hasn't been placed, the information has not been shared to the restaurant, and you are not going to get the food at all. So it is not an effective communication. The main thing in communication is it has to be effective. So why it has to be effective? Just give a thought. Why it has to be effective? So coming to the point of why the communication has to be effective. Now imagine there is a team. They are going to play a tournament of football with a very good team. They are in a place where they have to prove their team is going to win. And the team members, imagine they should be having some teamwork, strategy, clear signals, and everything which is essential for the success. And if there is no teamwork, imagine a boy in the team isn't happy with the whole team and he's not going to take up the. So now coming to the point of that effective teamwork where the boy wasn't happy with the whole team and he wasn't there when the team was working hard. He wasn't there when the team were learning about the signals they were about to pass on when the team is going to play in the ground. So he's not going to understand any signals. It is not going to be clear for him. It is not going to be a good teamwork when he is in the team. So there is not going to be a effective communication if a boy sends him the clear good signal. He is not going to catch up what the signal isn't about, and he is really going to pass the ball, whichever is going to be the goal for him. So that way, it is not going to be an effective communication. Now you understand why the communication has to be effective. So coming to some other example, like I'm saying to a person, please do finish all the works. I'll be back in an hour. And the person didn't know what the works were all. He just had the mind that he had to finish. So he was searching where there could be some note or something like that, but he couldn't find. I'm coming back after an hour and the person has not done anything and I'm raging him with anger. I'm just shouting at him. But the part is like, I have not communicated to the person effectively, saying that, see, Mr. Sudhakar, this is all the work that I need you to finish it. Finish this, post this letter, write an email, and do all these things. Like I'm just jotting down, I'm just giving him list of works with a paper to him so that he is doing the work whichever has to be done properly. Or else it is just going to be waste of time. So effective communication is this. So the second form of communication to Sudhakar was the proper effective communication. So now you could understand why it is important. There has to be clarity. There has to be a bit good relationship. Like as I said in the team, that one boy, he never had a good relationship with others. So that is not going to build the teamwork. And the decision making has to be proper with Sudhakar. Say, like I have given list of some works. I have given him 5-10 works and he has to decide by himself. Like I'll finish this first, I'll finish this second, I'll do all these things and at last I can go to the post office so that I can finish up everything. But if he decides to go to the post office, which is very far away from here, which itself is going to take 1 hour's time, he is not going to finish the other work which is going to be pending for the whole day. So the decision making is also very important part. And if it is a conflict, like as I said in the first part, I'm just saying, Sudhakar, please finish all the work. That time, the Sudhakar he should have had a conflict in his mind. He should know, oh, she said only all work, but she never told me what was the work. So that time, if Sudhakar had stopped me and asked me, what are all the works, there itself the conflict would have resolved and the work would have been done. So that is the importance of effective communication. Now you understand what is communication, why effective communication is needed and all those things. Now, as we said, communication is like sharing information, ideas, and all those things. And we have different types, many other forms. So categorizing into main general things, main general parts, they are categorized into verbal, non-verbal, and written communication. So verbal, whatever is spoken, whatever is, it can be in any form, formal or informal or a group communication. It could be anything. Anything which is spoken, anything which is, through words, it is verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is like dance. Dance is a communication where if you just see the Bharatanatyam dancers, they don't open their mouths because they have the rule that they shouldn't be opening the mouth, but they should be expressing the lyric of the song through their body gestures, the body language. If it is going to be an emotion of like anger, they have to show it in their face. If it is going to be an action of cruelty, they have to choose some body language, facial expressions and gestures with their own body, showing that it is cruelty. So that is like, non-verbal communication. So that can be done through body language, facial expressions and gestures. Like even shouting somewhere, like somebody is, we can just find out that the person is having some pain and they are crying out of love. So that is tone of voice. So written communication, you could easily think like, emails, letters, and anything that is written and it has been shared to another person, it falls into the category of written communication. So when it comes to verbal communication, it has to be clear, concise, and there has to be active listening and feedback. See, I'm just verbally communicating to you, and you have to be in a stage where you are actively listening, and there has to be some feedback. Only then I'll get to know I was communicating properly to. That was an effective communication. And there has to be there is a very little part on the body language and tone as well. If it is going to be, this effective body language and tone comes into play when it is going to be one-on-one or when the person is communicating in a stage or something like that. Then communicating to the part of non-verbal communications. As we said, there are so many types of non-verbal communications, and here we have given like so many examples. Like we have to say to a person, like, you have to go to the right. How do we say? Like we sometimes say go to the right through our eye movement, right? So, or else we say that take right. We just say, we move our hands and say them go to the right side. So these sort of things, they all come into the part of non-verbal communications. So body language, like I'm just raising my hand so that the other person will get into fear that he is going to slap me. So that is a point of non-verbal communication where I'm just raising my hand so that he will get to know that this is the point where I have to stop. We shake our hands. It is a very good hand gesture. We are welcoming them. So these are all things that comes into the part of non-verbal communication. So the point which has been mentioned here is the proxemics. So proxemics is the proximity, the space, the distance, how it influence the communication. Like, say, I don't have any mic and I have to communicate to you and you are standing a little away from me. Like, we are 7-8 feet away from me. I have to be a little louder. So the distance really influence the communication. The tone of my language has to be little louder. The volume of my language has to be little louder. In the same way, it can be the proximity between two persons can be like, it can be little closer, like when they are into a relationship or they are very close to each other. But if we are communicating with a person whom we don't know, we just keep a distance. So even hugging a family or whispering some secret to a close friend, those things all come into the category of the proxemics. So the personal space, how do we use the personal space to communicate? So that shows our authority, or it shows our intimacy. Like we just hold a little girl or child, we just have, it shows the love to the person. The little girl will understand that it is love, it is a love. So if we are comfortable with a person, we just move closer, or else we keep some distance. So that way, the space is also part of communication that comes into the category of proxemics. So when moving on to this written communication, you may know that anything whichever is in the format of a written thing, we draft a letter. We say that we are not feeling well. We give a leave letter to a class teacher. We have given those things. Those were all, part of written communication. We have our degree certificate. That is a written communication that says that we are holding a degree. And we have the transfer certificate that shows that we have been transferred from the school or college wherever we have studied. That is all a written communication. We request for a transfer certificate to the principal or the dean or somebody else. That is a written communication. So anything that has been written in a very manner, it is called as the written communication. And we write messages we send messages to our friends in WhatsApp and all those things. Those all come into the category of written communication. So Viscom. So we have known, so many of our friends has gone to the degree of Viscom. Have you heard about that? So he did Viscom and he is into film industry now. So she was into Viscom, now she is into advertising agency. He was into some marketing because he studied Viscom. He is very good in putting posters, brochures, designing and all those things. So those all things, whichever, just by communicating through pictures, images, graphs, and all those things that come into the category of visual communication. Just by seeing something, we understand. Just by seeing the picture. See, if we are, the danger symbol, right? So when the symbol is pasted there, you know that it is not suitable for you to go into that place. So just that picture communicates that it is not a good place. It is not a place where we are going to be safer. So those sort of things like fire. So we know that it is going to be, it can switch off the fire or something like that. We have seen the fire extinguishers many a times with the cylinder having the fire symbol and all those things. So those sort of pictures, the images, the bars, graphs, whichever is going to communicate you something, that comes into the category of visual communication. So we are into the field of, we are into the age of digitality. So digital communication, everything has been digitalized now. So anything, email, it has been sent through internet, any letter. So it was more of paperwork those days, but now it has been digitalized, everything. Those days we had to write message, we had to post it. Okay. Now it is going to be WhatsApp message. So it has been instant. So these, everything whichever we use some technical details, where we use some machines to communicate something, that comes under digital communication. Even now we are into the mode of digital communication because we are using the internet, we are using the phone, we are using the computer to learn this communication. So this even comes into the category of digital communication. So now coming to the part of choosing the right communication. See, I'm here and you people are in places wherever from you are, like, you are from Madurai, Trichy, Kanchipuram, and I have been taking classes to so many people from various places. Now I have to communicate to you all people. How will I do? I will choose the digital communication. Now I can use the visual communication where I can put some graphs. So I have to understand what is the need of the audience. I have to know how I have to communicate. I have to choose the proper tool of communication. So that needs some clarity, and that needs some understanding of the audience. I cannot be sticking on to if I'm a very way old person and I'm not updated to this computer, laptop and all those things, and I just want to take class only through, classroom teaching, that isn't going to be possible for the various audience who is placed everywhere else from the country or place. It is going to take some time, which is going to take some money, which is going to take so much of effort and all those things. But this digital and visual communication, knowing my audience, I have made it little effective so that it is reaching you properly on time. So understanding your audience is primary important thing, and there has to be clarity about the project and clarity about the subject, clarity about the thought or information whichever is going to be shared, and it has to be clear and precise. And as well, it has to be working on the feedback mechanism. I have to get the feedback. Like I have to get to know that have you people understood whatever the message is being conveyed here. If it has not been understood, like I'm saying, I'm sending a message to my friend, say that, are you free today? He's not replying at all. And what does that mean? I will never get to know that he has received the message or not. So there has to be some feedback, only then the communication can be, better, and it can be more effective, and there could be right communication method chosen thereafter. So concluding, so here we have learned about what is communication, why is it essential for, what is effective communication, why is it important, and the other forms of communication, and why is it necessary to choose the right method of communication here. So effectively go through all the papers and get to know about the communication paper. All the best. Do well. Thank you.